Welcome to the Dr. Aaron Show. This is a top spiritual awakening and new thought ancient wisdom podcast to teach you how to become your highest self, unleash your spiritual superpowers, discover your soul's purpose, and manifest your dreams. Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron, Doctor of Divinity, and I'm committed to bringing you the best manifesting and coaching tips, spiritual advice, trauma healing, and metaphysical recovery secrets. I'm here to help you reprogram your subconscious mind, monetize your spiritual gifts, and love your life. I want you to know that I've been exactly where you are, and I believe in you. Together, we're awakening the world. Live from the universe, this is Dr. Aaron signing in to say hello. How are my divine loves? How's my community? How are you guys doing? What I know for sure is that you are divine. You are an all-knowing, all-powerful spiritual being having a human experience. And so today, I want to get our mind right and really come tapping into source within so that you can take on this week powerfully, living in alignment with your truth and in your mission and in your purpose and calling. So let's do this thing. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, taking such deep breath that when you inhale, your actual diaphragm is completely expanding, and holding the breath at the top and exhaling out. And I'd like you to do this 3 times, inhaling and holding. And what you're doing when you are expanding that diaphragm, you are resetting the neurological system, and exhaling out. And as you do this at your own pace, breathing in as slow as possible, as deep as possible, what we are doing is we are tuning in. We are resetting the neurological system so that we can come into the peace and the silence and coming into the higher frequency that is actually so finite that that is the stillness. And at the very center point is no frequency. It's called 0 point field. And that is the God source within you. And so tapping into that today, into that all-knowing, unified essence of who you are. I know today is a session to remember who you are and to live in alignment with the highest order, no longer handing your power over to the external world, being a sovereign being, which means you are not the effect of anything of the external world, because this is all an illusion, the matrix. We are coming into first cause, first source, the I am. And in that, I'm declaring for myself and for each and every one who is listening today, and for everyone across the globe, the galaxies, all sentient beings, all masters, all angels, all guides. I know we are one, and I say yes to what we choose to focus on and create and manifest the highest thing, which is you, which is the unique divine expression of God's source. I simply release this as my word is law, as together we say, and so it is, and so it is. Okay, so today, what I want to go over is this week's universal law distinction. There is only one universal law. It's a law of cause and effect. And there's different distinctions of understanding how the law works, which is the spiritual law of manifesting. It's the very advanced teaching of law of attraction. So today, first, I want to go over this. And then what I want to do is talk to you about a case study about toxic relationships, and really stop projecting in your relationships and what that really takes, and how to spot when you're projecting or somebody in your life is projecting, and how to actually handle it from both sides. So let's do this thing. So first, let's just do our spiritual daily spiritual practice. Everyone has their own daily spiritual practice. If you're in my membership or in any of my programs, we teach having a powerful daily spiritual practice. And the reason why is because even if you do all your inner work, even if do all your trauma work, you're still going to need to get your mind right. Okay. You need to get your mind right. And having a daily spiritual practice is imperative. I don't care how much work you've done. If you don't have a spiritual practice, you're going to come back into the effect. It's like, imagine that at every cell, there is the frequency. Again, at the point is 0 point, and it gets really high vibration in the very center. And as you go way out to the outside, like a torus field, it gets into a lower frequency. That's the world that we see out here. That's the external world. So we don't want to live in the external world. We want to be really tapped into that inner source, but having this external experience. Okay. So having a daily spiritual practice is all about always staying connected to your true self. So The universal law distinction of this week, we live this also. We want to embody the universal law, to know it in our logical mind, in who we are and who we embody, what we embody. So this week's law is the law of forgiveness, which comes down to this mantra or this affirmation: release all judgments and set yourself free. When you release judgment, right, you've cast yourself out of the Garden of Eden the moment that you judge or put a positive or negative meaning. That's polarization. So, this is a law of releasing and really being released also from the chains of judgment, right? We don't have to judge anyone because universal law just takes care of everyone's cause and effect of whatever they've done. We don't have to act like God for somebody else, okay? That's not our place in this universe, okay? When you forgive, you get yourself back. When you forgive, you get your energetics back. You cut all cords. You do soul retrieval, right? When you forgive, you give yourself back to yourself. You're no longer the victim. It doesn't mean that when you forgive somebody, it doesn't mean you don't have the cause and effect of maybe you don't want them in your life, or maybe there's legal things you have to do, whatever. But forgiving is really about energetics, right? This is the restoration of energetic ties of bondage. It is not about letting someone off the hook of cause and effect. Universal law will do that. It's about freeing yourself from the jail of victimhood. Okay, so just taking that into our day, our week, our life, embodying that, remembering that anytime we have judgment, anytime we want to, hold resentment for anyone, we get to remember, hey, if I do that, it's not going to turn out very well for me. I'm going to become the effect of that. Okay. So the law of forgiveness, may you take that into this week and into this day. Okay, taking a deep breath in, going into a case study of a client. And the topic today is stop projecting in your relationships. So we first wanted to define what is projecting, right? Projecting is really pointing the finger. You made me feel this way. Because of you, I'm experiencing this. Because of you, this is your fault, right? That's projecting. Projecting is also like looking through a filter, because all of us have this filter. It's called a trauma filter. And we will literally hear every conversation, experience everything within our relationship through a filter. Okay. So this client case study is a client came to me and she actually wanted to be more expressed in her business. She wanted to be more expressed and making more money and being, finding her truth in her business and her mission. But she kept feeling like something was holding her back. And what often happens, because people come for different things, to work with me, but 9 out of 10 clients are dealing with dysfunctional relationships. Okay. Whether it be with a parent, whether it be with a sibling, whether it be with their partner, a peer, or a client, right? 9 out of 10 people are dealing with dysfunctional relationships. Some are more extreme, some are less extreme. But the truth is that they usually come and they have upsets, and their upsets in their relationships are zapping their energy. And that is impacting their ability to make more money or get more clarity in their business or show up at whatever level. So, pretty much every client I work with, we have to deal with their relationships, their dysfunctional relationship, because if we don't clear up their energetics, it's not, it leaks into all different areas of their life, right? So, the upsets that usually happen are what is called projecting. I'm upset because my partner, you know, uh, whatever, isn't being empathetic enough to me. He's not hearing me, right? Or I'm upset because my partner or my mom did this and she's, doing X, Y, and Z, right? It's always an upset. And that upset is taking their energy and their focus. So we have to deal with this projecting and deal with the upset, and obviously deal with what's deeper going on so that they can get freed up in their energetics. So the topic is how, stop projecting in your relationships. So we have to, again, define what is projecting. It's pointing the finger, right? It's blame, shame, guilt game. It is saying, you're making me feel this way. So one, we have to educate ourselves in not a blunt way, but a metaphysical way. The truth is that no one can make you feel any way. You are the creator of your emotions. You're the creator of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your reality. Okay. You are choosing to either stay in that environment, right? We can't say we're not going to be effective. If we put our hand in the fire, we're going to feel something, right? If we stay in an environment we're going to feel something. We can only control what we can control within our own meaning and attachment and energetics around it. But we can choose to put ourselves into an environment where we have choice over our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. Okay. So we have to first educate ourselves and understand truth. The metaphysics is that you're the creator of your reality. Okay. So then we have to really take a look at, so what's happening? The upset emotions are amazing. We're all usually so afraid of emotions. And for me, I'm a very like, my emotions are so intense. I'm empathetic. I feel the whole race consciousness. It's intense in my body sometimes. Okay. So it's taken me a long time to master my emotions and use my emotions instead of being used by my emotions. So in this, obviously, I can't go into the whole lesson. If you're in my membership and in one of my programs, you will really understand and go through the processes of transforming the emotion, going through the process of doing the deep trauma work. But we have to recognize that one, we have to know that no one can create our emotions. Same for our clients. If you're listening because you want to master spiritual coaching for yourself, or you want to master spiritual coaching for your clients to have clients, right? So, one, we have to know that no one can create someone else's emotions. Number two is we have to look at what is being projected, right? What is being projected? It's usually through a trauma filter. So, having to do one's trauma work is imperative. I don't know how anyone coaches or does any work with any client without doing their trauma work. It'd be impossible, Mike, because it always is the trauma identity. What happens in trauma is something happens. Trauma is not what happens to you. Trauma, from a spiritual perspective, is what happens within you. It's the decisions that are made in that traumatic incident. And it usually looks like, hey, I'm not lovable. Something's wrong with me. I can't trust anyone. Everyone leaves, whatever it is. It's called a trauma command. Okay. It's an imprint. It's the energetic. It can also come from trauma in this lifetime, trauma of last time, of trauma from your ancestor lineage, right? It's what calls it's like the curse in it's the master class of the soul. It's the soul's assignment. It's this master class in this lifetime. And this is a repetitive thing that will project out into your character, your persona in this lifetime, right? So this client came for wanting to make more money, wanting to be more expressed in their business, but we had to deal with the upsets and had to clear up the energetics in her relationship. And once we cleared up the thing in her relationship, automatically she started making more money. There was just more flow in her business. Everything started happening, right? So people come with certain things, but you as, or for yourself, you have to realize, hey, it may not even be the issue over here with money and expression of my business. It may be actually the command of I'm not worthy is projecting into my relationship and the money and my career. It's one identity. And that identity, that false identity, that limited perception identity is actually out picturing into what we call the vibrational match of your life. Okay. So again, stop projecting in your relationships. You need to realize you're the creator of your emotions and feelings and that you are seeing through your own trauma filter. And so once you've done your inner work, people have a delusion. They think, oh, you'll just never be triggered in a relationship again. You're never going to be, having emotions and feel like that is a lie. But what it does is you birth your truth. We actually create our life's manual within the membership portal, right? And when we really clear of what are our standards? What are our core values? What is our ideal scene with the people we're around? What are our deal breakers around who are around? And when we do that, then we can know when we're getting triggered in a relationship or upset and go, hey, what's really going on? Is this something pulling up for me within myself, or is this something that I'm not aligning in this relationship? So I can either go, hey, I'm just not vibing in this relationship, and I can go my separate way without making them wrong and me wrong and da da da. And I can just accept it and go, hey, we're just not on the same, we just don't see life the same. We don't vibe. Or I can say, hey, I care about this relationship. And I'm actually willing to work through this and have an inspiring conversation instead of blaming and shaming the person of how they're not listening to me or hearing me or whatever. I can actually have an enrolling conversation and I can actually embody that which I seek. And usually, if you don't say anything to the other party and you embody what you seek, they will begin to rise or they'll take themselves out of your universe. It's really simple. It's magic. I'll tell you, it's miraculous. It is divine principle. It is spiritual law. It is manifesting. This is the embodiment of the spiritual, mastering spiritual coaching, truly and truly. Okay. So, in this, I'm knowing a powerful week as we went over the universal law of forgiveness, knowing there's only one universal law. And we went over the distinction that all clients, including yourself, have to deal with your relationship issues, because that is what is actually the same identity that's projecting the relationships, is zapping all your energy, is projecting into your health and your career and your vitality and your money and all of the above. And so I'm just knowing a beautiful divine life, taking a breath in and exhaling out. And I'm knowing a powerful week, living in principle, living in truth. And so if you haven't already, you can grab the coach session planner link below. And if you're ready to do your deep dive into doing your trauma work, really doing your inner work and birthing your life's purpose and your life's manual, you can come in, grab the link below to join the membership there, as well as for people who want to get developed in business and get certified in our work. There's other programs as well. Have a beautiful, blessed day, you guys. You can go to drerin.tv. That's DRERIN.tv. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Erin Show. If you're ready to transform your life, discover your soul's purpose, and manifest your dreams, go to drerin.tv. Join me in my life-changing events, membership, or certification. If you're ready to become a certified coach and get trained in metaphysics of mind, manifestation, and the creative process, subconscious reprogramming, trauma recovery healing, spiritual psychology, universal law, and much more, go to drerin.tv. If you're receiving value from the show, I would love it if you would share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review. Have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth.